listen to me. Before I even get started, I need you to hear this with your heart, not just your ears. Your life right now, the level you're operating at, the doors that are opening for you, even the battles you're stuck in. It's not about your degree. It's not about where you were born. It's not about how much money is in your account. It's about your attitude. Some of you keep waiting for life to change, waiting for somebody to save you, waiting for a miracle. But the truth is, nothing on the outside is going to shift until something on the inside does. Your attitude is the thermostat of your life. You set the temperature. You decide if this room is hot with passion, energy, and faith, or cold with excuses, fear, and negativity. I came here to tell you, you can have talent, you can have dreams, you can even have opportunities handed to you, but if your attitude isn't right, you will lose it all. And at the same time, you can come from nothing, no advantages, no handouts, but if your attitude says, I refuse to quit, I refuse to stay down, you'll rise where people least expect it. So before we go deep today, I want you to make a decision in your spirit. I'm not just going to sit here and hear another speech. I'm going to listen with the intention to change. Because if you grab what I'm about to tell you, if you let it hit you, this message won't just motivate you for a moment. It will shift the way you see your whole life. Listen to me. Your attitude shapes your reality. Some of you don't even realize that the reason you're stuck, the reason you're not seeing the breakthroughs you've been praying for, is not because life is unfair. It's not because people are against you. It's because of the lens you're looking through. The same situation that breaks one person will build another. The same job somebody complains about is the same job another person uses as a stepping stone. It's not the situation that determines the outcome. It's the attitude you bring into it. I need you to catch this. Your attitude is not something small. It's not just about smiling more or pretending to be happy. No, it's deeper than that. Your attitude is the posture of your heart and mind. It's how you interpret the world around you. It's how you wake up in the morning and decide what this day is going to mean for you. Some people open their eyes and already decide it's going to be a bad day before they even put their feet on the ground. And some people, even in the middle of chaos, wake up and say, I don't care what's happening around me. Today is another chance. Today is another opportunity. And let's be real, life will give you both. Sunshine and storms, victories and defeats, blessings and heartbreaks. You don't get to choose what comes, but you absolutely get to choose how you show up to it. That's why I'm telling you. Your attitude shapes your reality. If you approach every problem with defeat already in your spirit, you'll never see a solution even if it's right in front of you. But if you approach it with resilience, with grit, with the belief that there's a way through, you'll find doors where other people only see walls. I remember hearing stories of two people who went through the same layoff. One lost their job and spent months complaining, blaming the company, telling anyone who would listen how unfair it was. The other lost a job the same day, but instead of sitting in anger, they said, this is my moment. This is my push to finally start the business I've been dreaming about. Do you understand? Same problem, two different attitudes, two completely different outcomes. One person stayed bitter. The other person built something. That's not luck. That's attitude. Some of you right now, you're blaming life. You're blaming people. You're blaming circumstances. When the truth is, it's not them, it's the way you're seeing it. I'm not saying life hasn't been hard. I'm not saying you haven't been through pain. But what I am saying is, if you carry the wrong attitude, you're making a hard life even harder. Because your attitude will either be your greatest weapon or your heaviest chain. It can either unlock opportunities or keep you locked out. You know what's crazy? Two students can walk into the same classroom with the same teacher, the same assignments, the same resources. One says, this class is impossible. I hate this teacher. I'll never get it. The other says, this class is tough, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to use this to grow. Guess who ends up excelling? Guess who ends up failing? It's not about the class. It's about the attitude. The world doesn't reward talent alone. It doesn't reward intelligence alone. It doesn't reward the people who have the perfect circumstances. No, the world rewards those who decide that no matter what's in front of me, I'm going to push. I'm going to learn. I'm going to keep moving forward. Your attitude determines how you use your talent. Your attitude determines how you bounce back from failure. Your attitude determines how far you can really go. I've seen people with all the gifts in the world destroy their own future because their attitude was wrong. Arrogance, laziness, negativity. They had doors wide open, but their spirit closed them. And I've seen people who had nothing, no money, no connections, no head start, get to levels nobody thought possible simply because they carried an attitude of hunger, humility, and gratitude. You can't control where you started, but you can control how you show up from here. You can't change your past, but you can decide what your present means. Every single day, you get a choice. You can walk into it complaining or you can walk into it creating. You can drag the weight of yesterday or you can decide today is brand new. But you can't do both. Some of you need to shift the way you're speaking to yourself. Every time you fail, you call yourself a failure. Every time you lose, you say, see, I'm not good enough. That's not just words. That's your attitude shaping your reality. If you keep speaking defeat, you'll keep living in defeat. You've got to change the way you see it. Failure is not the end. It's feedback. Loss is not punishment. It's preparation. But if your attitude doesn't let you see it like that, you'll miss the very lessons that could change everything for you. I promise you this, if you start shifting your attitude, everything else will follow. Your relationships will change. Your opportunities will change. The way people see you will change. Because people don't just see your skills, they feel your spirit. They can sense if you're hopeful or hopeless, if you're committed or careless, if you're someone they can trust or someone they should stay away from. And all of that comes back to the attitude you carry. You've got to stop waiting for life to be perfect before you change your outlook. You've got to stop waiting for people to treat you better before you decide to bring your best. Your attitude is not about what's happening to you. It's about what's happening in you. And if you can shift what's happening in you, it doesn't matter what comes against you, because you'll always find a way to rise. So the next time life gives you a problem, I want you to pause and ask yourself, not why me, but what can I learn? How can I grow? How can I turn this into something greater? That's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who move forward. Your attitude is not just a small thing. It is everything. And if you change your attitude, you change your reality. Life is going to test you. There's no way around it. I don't care who you are, where you come from, or how perfect you think your plan is. Storms are coming. You're going to face disappointments. You're going to face loss. People you thought would be there forever will walk out on you. Opportunities you thought were guaranteed will vanish. The question is not whether adversity is coming. The question is, what's your attitude when it shows up? Because that's where the battle is won or lost. You've got to stop believing that hard times are a sign that you're not meant for greatness. No, adversity is the price of admission for success. Every single person you admire, every story that inspires you, every victory that lasted came through the fire. But here's the thing, the fire doesn't just burn, it also forges. The storm doesn't just destroy, it also strengthens. The question is not whether the fire will come, but what it will leave behind in you. I know some of you have been through things that broke your heart, that left you questioning your worth. But I need you to hear me. Your pain is not the end of your story. Your pain is the beginning of your strength. The difference between people who rise and people who crumble is not the size of the storm. It's the size of their attitude in the middle of it. Some people take adversity as a signal to quit. The moment life hits them, they fold. They say, it's too much. I can't do this. And guess what? The storm takes them out because they gave it permission. But there are others who stand in the same storm and say, this will not break me. This will not define me. I might bend, but I will not snap. That's attitude. That's the posture that turns adversity into advancement. Let me be real with you. Life is not fair. It's not fair that you gave everything to that relationship and they betrayed you. It's not fair that you worked hard at that job and still got overlooked. It's not fair that sickness showed up when you were finally getting ahead. But listen, your attitude can turn unfair into unstoppable, because while life may not be fair, your spirit doesn't have to break under the weight of it. Think about this. Every champion you've ever celebrated, every hero you've ever respected, they didn't become who they are because everything went smooth. No, they became who they are because they kept their attitude locked on perseverance when everything screamed at them to give up. They refused to let the storm dictate their story. And you need that same mindset. When you're down, you've got to look at the ground and say, I will rise again. When people walk away, you've got to tell yourself, I wasn't built to be dependent on who left. I was built to maximize who's still here. When money runs out, when doors close, when dreams get delayed, your attitude has to scream louder than the adversity. I am not done yet. I am not finished yet. I will not quit. And let me tell you something powerful. Your response to adversity not only shapes your future, it also shapes who you are. You don't know how strong you are until life pushes you to your knees. And you make the choice to stand back up. You don't know how much fight is in you until everything you counted on collapses. And you discover you can keep moving forward anyway. That's why I say adversity is not your enemy. It's your trainer. It's shaping your character. It's sharpening your vision. It's exposing your weaknesses so you can become unbreakable. But if your attitude is wrong, you'll miss the lesson. You'll sit there complaining about how heavy the weights are instead of realizing the weights are making you stronger. Some of you are praying for strength but avoiding the very storms designed to give it to you. You want resilience without resistance. It doesn't work like that. You don't become a diamond without pressure. You don't become refined without fire. And you don't reach your destiny without adversity. I've seen it firsthand. People who lost everything but refused to lose their spirit. People who buried loved ones and still found a way to smile again. People who were rejected, ridiculed, laughed at, and still stood tall. Not because they were superhuman, but because their attitude said, life can hit me, but I will not surrender. That's the kind of spirit you've got to carry. Every setback you face can either be the excuse that holds you back or the fuel that pushes you forward. You choose. Every heartbreak can either be the wound that keeps bleeding or the scar that reminds you of your survival. You choose. Every failure can either be the period at the end of your story or the comma that says, wait, there's more coming. You choose. You've got to make a decision in the middle of the storm that you're not going to let this thing break you. Cry if you need to. Feel the pain. Be honest about the struggle. But don't you dare let that pain convince you to quit. Don't you dare let adversity talk you out of the greatness that's inside of you. And hear me, adversity doesn't just test you, it also reveals you. It shows you who you really are. When everything's going well, it's easy to look strong. It's easy to look confident. But when everything falls apart, that's when the truth shows. That's when your real attitude comes out. And if you can learn to stand in those moments, if you can carry an attitude that says, no matter what comes, I'm still here, I'm still fighting, I still believe, then there's nothing life can throw at you that will stop you. You can't control the storm, but you can control your sails. You can't control the weight, but you can control how you carry it. And if you choose the right attitude, adversity doesn't stop you. It strengthens you. Your response to adversity is everything. Your attitude doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody around you. Don't think for 1 second that you can walk into a room with a bad spirit and not shift the atmosphere. People feel your energy before you even say a word. They can see it in the way you carry yourself, the way you respond, the way you either bring hope or you bring heaviness. Your attitude is contagious, and whether you realize it or not, you are either lifting people up or you are pulling them down. You ever notice how one negative person can poison an entire environment? One complainer at work, one gossip in the family, one pessimist on the team. It doesn't take long before everybody feels it. The energy shifts. People get drained. Progress slows down. Why? Because negativity is loud. But the same is true with a positive, determined, disciplined attitude. Walk into a room with a spirit of belief, with a spirit of resilience, with a spirit of gratitude, and you'll shift the whole place. People will want to rise to your level. People will feel like they can push a little harder, go a little further, because your energy gave them permission to hope again. Some of you underestimate the influence you have. You think, I'm just one person, what does it matter? But it matters more than you know. Your kids are watching you. Your friends are being shaped by you. Your co-workers are picking up on the way you carry yourself. Every single day you are either modeling strength or weakness, courage or fear, faith or doubt. And the truth is, people will often catch more from your attitude than they ever will from your words. I need you to get this. If your attitude is negative, you're not just hurting yourself. You're robbing others of the strength they could have borrowed from you. Because sometimes people don't have their own fight left. Sometimes they don't have their own belief left and they need to lean on yours. But if your spirit is always defeated, if your words are always critical, if your posture is always bitter, you're not giving them anything to lean on. Instead of being a light, you become another shadow in their life. On the flip side, when you carry the right attitude, you become a source of power for others. You become that reminder that it's possible to keep going. You become that example that says, if I can keep fighting, you can keep fighting too. You don't even have to preach. You just show up with consistency. You just show up with discipline. You just show up with faith and people feel it. They start to say, if they can smile through the storm, maybe I can too. If they can keep working when it's hard, maybe I can too. Your attitude becomes the silent testimony that inspires others to rise higher. You got to ask yourself, what kind of energy am I giving off when people leave my presence? Do they feel heavier or lighter? Do they feel drained or do they feel inspired? Do they feel like giving up or do they feel like pushing forward? Because whether you realize it or not, you are influencing people every single day. And here's the reality. If you're not intentional about your attitude, you'll accidentally bring people down when you were meant to lift them up. Some of you wonder why your relationships aren't thriving, why your circle isn't growing, why opportunities keep slipping. Could it be that your attitude is repelling what you say you want? People don't want to be around constant negativity. People don't want to be around someone who finds a problem for every solution. People don't want to invest in someone who always carries doubt instead of determination. But the moment you shift your spirit, the moment you carry yourself with gratitude, faith, and persistence, people are drawn to you. Doors open. Support shows up. Not because life magically changed, but because your attitude changed and your energy created an environment where growth could happen. You can't afford to carry a toxic spirit. Not just for you, but for the people who are attached to you. Because there are people tied to your destiny who need you to get it together. They need you to carry strength so they can borrow it. They need you to carry hope so they can see it. They need you to carry resilience so they can believe it's possible for them too. Your attitude is not just personal, it's generational, it's contagious. It multiplies. Think about it. If you're always negative, your kids will grow up with that same spirit. If you're always defeated, your friends will learn to normalize defeat. But if you're disciplined, if you're grateful, if you're resilient, that spirit will spread too. Your family will pick it up. Your friends will pick it up. Your team will pick it up. That's why you can't just see this as my mood or my feelings. No, your attitude is a responsibility because it impacts every life you touch. You've got to stop making excuses for your energy. You've got to stop saying, well, that's just who I am, or that's just how I feel. No, you don't get to stay in that space if it's costing the people around you. You've got to decide that you're going to be intentional with the way you carry yourself. That you're going to walk into every room with strength, with humility, with positivity, even when life is tough. Because sometimes the greatest gift you can give others is the way you handle your own battles. I know it's not easy. I know sometimes you don't feel like smiling. I know sometimes you don't feel like speaking life. But understand this. When you choose to carry the right attitude anyway, you're not being fake. You're being faithful. You're showing others that even in the middle of storms, there's still a choice. And that choice is power. You don't realize it now, but somebody is watching you. Somebody is depending on you. Somebody is being shaped by the way you handle your season. Don't rob them of the chance to see what resilience looks like. Don't rob them of the chance to see what faith in action looks like. Carry yourself with the right attitude, not just for you, but for them. Your attitude influences everyone connected to you. Your attitude sets the standard for your future. I don't care how much talent you've got. I don't care how many connections you think you have. I don't care how perfect your plan is. If your attitude is wrong, it will sabotage everything. Because talent can get you in the room, but only your attitude can keep you there. Opportunity can knock on your door, but only your attitude determines if you can handle what comes with it. The truth is, the future doesn't belong to the smartest, the most talented, or even the most gifted. It belongs to those who refuse to quit, those who keep showing up with the right spirit no matter what. I've seen people with incredible potential fall off because they thought their skills were enough. They thought the spotlight would sustain them. They thought once they got the position, once they got the opportunity, once they got the title, they could relax. But life doesn't reward talent alone. Life rewards consistency. Life rewards resilience. Life rewards those who show up day after day with a mindset that says, I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep doing the work even when nobody is clapping. That's attitude. And that's what builds a future. The problem with so many of us is we want the outcome without the outlook. We want success, but we don't want the attitude that sustains success. We want the results, but not the responsibility. That's why you see people rise fast and fall just as quick. Because their talent took them somewhere their attitude couldn't keep them. And if you're not careful, that same thing will happen to you. You can't just dream about the future. You've got to set your spirit in alignment with the future you're asking for. Ask yourself this: what standard is my attitude setting? Because your attitude today is building your tomorrow. If you carry an attitude of excuses today, your future will be full of regret. If you carry an attitude of laziness today, your future will be empty of progress. But if you carry an attitude of discipline, of gratitude, of resilience, your future will reflect it. You can't plant negativity and expect positivity to grow. You can't plant defeat and expect victory to rise. Whatever you carry in your attitude now, you will see in your life later. That's why you can't afford to have a temporary attitude for a permanent destiny. Every day matters. Every choice matters. Every time you show up matters. You can't keep waiting for the big moment, the big stage, the big opportunity to fix your attitude. No, the small moments are shaping you for the big ones. The way you handle a job you don't like is preparing you for the career you want. The way you treat people who can't do anything for you is shaping how you'll treat people when you're in power. The way you carry yourself in private is building a foundation for the person you'll be in public. If your attitude isn't right in the small things, you won't be ready when the big things come. And hear me clearly, life is going to test that attitude. It's going to push you. It's going to frustrate you. It's going to delay you. Not to destroy you, but to develop you. Because a strong future requires a strong spirit. You don't get to walk into destiny with a fragile mindset. You don't get to live out greatness with a weak perspective. That's why you've got to make up in your mind right now: I will not let my emotions dictate my future. I will not let setbacks define me. I will not let fear paralyze me. You've got to carry an attitude that matches the life you're asking for. Look, some of you have been praying for things, dreaming of things, believing for things, but your attitude is not aligned with the blessing you're asking for. You want abundance, but you carry a complaining spirit. You want leadership, but you carry arrogance. You want opportunity, but you carry laziness. Do you understand? Your future is not just waiting for you. It's watching you. It's waiting to see if you're ready, if your spirit is mature enough, if your attitude can handle the weight of the blessing. I know you want it fast, but let me tell you, longevity is built on attitude. Anybody can shine for a season. Anybody can look good for a moment. But if you want a life that lasts, a legacy that speaks, an impact that endures, your attitude has to be built on something deeper than feelings. Because feelings change. Circumstances change. People change. But when your attitude is grounded, when it's locked on determination, when it's rooted in faith, nothing can stop you from walking into what's yours. And don't miss this. Your future isn't just about you. Your attitude sets the tone for the people coming after you. If you choose laziness, your kids will inherit it. If you choose bitterness, your family will carry it. But if you choose resilience, if you choose discipline, if you choose hope, you pass down a standard that outlives you. Your future isn't just being written in your career. It's being written in your character. That's why you've got to decide right now that your attitude will match the destiny you're building, not the circumstances you're facing. It's easy to talk about dreams. It's easy to post about goals. But the real work is in the daily attitude you carry when nobody's watching. That's what creates the future. The question is, do you have the attitude to last the struggle? Do you have the attitude to keep pushing when it doesn't look like it's working? Do you have the attitude to stay consistent when nobody is praising you? Because if you do, I promise you, your future will be brighter than you ever imagined. Your attitude is not just about today. It's about tomorrow. It's about the standard you're setting, the seeds you're planting, the story you're writing. And if you keep your spirit strong, if you keep your outlook focused, if you keep your attitude aligned, there is no storm, no setback, no obstacle that can stop the future that belongs to you. Your attitude sets the standard for your future.